You are now tuned in to the Jmack Experience Podcast.
All right, we're back, and we got a very, very special guest on the show today. I want to give you a round of applause, my brother. Thank you so much for showing up.
That's what's up. That's what's up, man. That's what's up.
Yo.
I like that little, you know what I mean? Got that little applause, you know what I mean? He couldn't wait to play with those sound effects. He's like, yeah, we put it on real quick. Boom, done.
It's like when you're a kid and you're like seeing people DJ and shit, and you just want to scratch that record for the first time, you know what I mean? And be like that. So how you feeling today, man, overall?
Man, to be honest with you, I'm good. I had a nice, lovely weekend.
Yeah,
man, nice, lovely weekend. Did some shows out in Boston. So,
yo, you've been touring. I see you busy, man.
Yeah, man, I stay busy, man. That's one thing about me. I stay busy. When I mean I stay busy, I stay busy. Only thing is, during the summertime, comedy get a little slow, but I still find a way to stay busy. I'm
still getting to the bag.
Still getting to it. Always getting to it. Always getting to it. Always getting to it.
Episode 99, Mr.Kuze.
Mr.Kuze in the building.
Mr.Kuze is in the building. This is going to be a very special one. We're switching up the light. We had Morgie here earlier, so you know what I mean? We're going to switch it up on him. Yeah. We're going to the comedy side of things.
Yeah, we're going to laugh because, boy, my man was passionate. I was like, I want to be a rapper. After I was like, yo, I'm about to be out.
You're in the wrong career choice.
For real, I was like, yo, forget these jokes.
Let's start dropping bars.
I'm about to start getting the 16s right.
Episode 99. We're going to get into the intro real quick, and we'll be right back.
Welcome to the Jmack Experience Podcast. This show is for motivational purposes only. However, we will not be politically correct, but our goal is to inspire those who listen and watch the show. Thanks for tuning in. Please be sure to follow us at the Jmack Experience Podcast and email us if you would like to be a guest on our platform at the Jmack Experience Podcast at gmail.com. Peace.
Yo, I want to give you another round of applause, my brother. Thank you so much for showing up.
Hold up. You ain't gonna just bypass.
Hold on, you didn't like my drop?
Bruh. Why you ain't make that shit sexy or something? You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Your pause, but like, you know what I mean? Could be, yo, the Jmack Experience.
Oh, you wanted that R&B shit.
Yeah,
the Boys to Men talking.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Yeah.
Baby.
Yeah, I'm down on bending knee trying to get that podcast. What's up, ladies? You know what I'm saying?
Make sure you tune in. Leave a message after the beat.
I was like, yeah. You know what I mean?
You remember that?
We do it back in the 90s when you had a phone, you had a call. Yeah, you put the hey, let me put that Carl Thomas in the back. Put it low. Need that at the 4. Yo, what's up? Yeah, it's Jmack on the podcast. And if you need, just hit me up. Let me know.
You got me cracking up, bro. So, we are a motivational platform, right? So we like to get everybody's story. Before we get to everything, all the wonderful things that you're doing now, for those who are not familiar, what's your name and where are you from?
All right, so my name is Mr.Kuze. I'm from Providence, Rhode Island.
Born and raised?
Born and raised, yep. Okay. Born and raised. And shoot, man, I gotta say, like, let's just jump into it. So,
what was it like growing up, more or less, for you? Like,
for me, growing up, man, I grew up in Providence. I grew up on the West End.
Oh shit, I'm from the West End too.
Yeah, I grew up on the West End on Seabury Street. I went to Gilbert Stewart when it was elementary.
Nice.
You know what I mean? And this was like late 80s, early 90s. And then, Providence was wild. Providence, when I mean Providence was wild back in the day, it was wild back in the day. I used to go to Buckland Pool.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I've been there a few times.
You know what I mean? I used to get my little sandwich. They put the little sandwich in the little pack. You know what I mean? Used to go to Buckland Pool and stuff like that.
The free lunches by the Armory?
Yeah, the free lunches. You know what I mean?
They don't know about that.
They don't know about that. You know what I mean? So, but I grew up, you know what I mean? I grew up poor. I was raised by my father.
Single family?
Yeah, man.
Oh, that's love.
You know what I mean?
I'm doing that now with my kid.
Me too. Me too. History repeats itself. So I grew up with my pops. I grew up with my pops. You know what I mean? I grew up with my pops, but you know what I mean? My mom was always around, but you know what I mean? Like, just back is, you know what I mean? It's the Rick James.
Somebody got to be stable.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. You know what I mean? No, my mom's was, but my pops was wild, yo. My pops was a wild person. Yeah. But so Providence got crazy. So around like 10 or 11, my pops was like, yo, we got to move.
You moved out of Providence?
Yeah, because we had to. Because
did you go to Lincoln?
Nah, I moved to Cranston.
Newport.
Moved to Cranston, like 5 minutes away. Yo, like I was like,
that's Rhode Island for you.
Yo, but we had to move up out of there because it was crazy. Like down at the end of my street, they found the dead prostitute.
Oh, so we talking Cranston Street?
No. This was on Hudson.
Oh, Hudson.
Oh yeah. Damn it. at the end of Seabury Street. Anyway.
So that was the final straw.
That happened. And, you know what I mean? My cousin, I have an older cousin, man, he got abducted when he was a kid. Yeah, he passed away. So like, I was coming from a lot of trauma. When I mean trauma, dog, like growing up in the hood, my older cousin, you know what I mean? He got abducted along with another white kid. Yeah. So, you know what I mean? He passed away when I was like 3 or 4.
Damn.
You know what I'm saying? My grandmother passed away. Providence was crazy. You know what I mean? Like
you haven't even hit double digits in years.
Yeah, for real. Like my life was already crazy. My pops at 5 years old had kidney failure.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So like all of this.
He must have been drinking like a motherfucker.
Yo, here's the thing. He was drinking. His favorite drink was Wild Turkey. He was bugging.
Damn.
He was bugging. My pops was
strong.
bugging. He was bugging, and he didn't know he was born with a deformed kidney and in the drinking. So then he had kidney failure, whatever. So by the time I was like 5 or 6, my mentality was like, I had to learn how to cook.
Yeah.
My dad was on dialysis. We moved to Cranston when I was 10.
Damn, that's an amazing story.
So like, soon as 5 came around, I had to learn how to take care of my pops. Yeah. And then he was going in the hospital. So I would be house to house. I would go to my godmother's house and then my aunt's house and you know what I mean? All these different places and stuff like that.
So you pretty much became an adult early on.
I came adult early. So by the time my dad got his stuff together, like right around 10 or whatever, because Providence was crazy, we moved to Cranston. When I moved to Cranston, that for me was a culture shock. Even though it was only like 5 minutes away, Cranston and Providence, Cranston now is more diverse.
Right.
When I moved there, it was a lot of white people.
What are you doing here?
For real. It's like, hey, excuse me.
How did you end? Are you lost?
Damn it. There were 7 niggers. Now there's 10. It's too much nigger shit. It's my bad.
There goes the neighborhood.
My bad. Oops. Here we go. But not, so, you know what I'm saying? Real talk. So I moved on Cranston. I moved to Cranston. I'm on Cranston Street. I'm living on Cranston Street. It's very diverse. It's not diverse. A lot of white people. You know what I'm saying? I went from Gilbert Stewart, like, there was only like 4 white kids. And we knew them because it was White Mike, White Anthony.
Everybody's white.
We all call because there's only 4 of them. It was White Mike, White Anthony, White Steve, and this
White
dude.
Steve.
Yeah, this dude, he was dirty all the time. We used to call him dirty just because he was dirty all the time. You know them white kids are just dirty. You can't even tell a color because he's so dirty. Like,
so you don't know if he's Puerto Rican.
Yeah, he could be Dominican. He took a bath. You're like, oh, that dude's white.
He's white.
So I go from that to going to, moving to Cranston. So while I'm doing all that, you know what I mean? I'm also dealing with like, all this stuff growing up as a kid. You know what I'm saying? So like my thing was, as a kid, I have big ass eyes. You know what I mean? I hate my parents for lying.
Eyes.
Bro, I heard every eyeball joke you can think of. This is why I'm funny. I'm gonna tell you this is why I'm funny. Yeah. So growing up in Providence, right? I got these big ass eyes, and I'm getting roasted. And I get these big ass eyes from my mom. You know what I'm saying? Like my mom got them. Yeah. My grandfather got them. My brothers got them. I passed them down to my kids. Like. So, you know what I mean? Having these big ass eyes, like everybody, they
had jokes for days on it.
Frog eyes, basketball eyes, fish eyes. The funniest joke I ever heard.
He got 20/20.
The funniest joke I ever heard was I had to compliment him. This kid came behind me and went like this and was like, yo, he was like, yo, this dude's binoculars is crazy. And I laughed. Me and him got into a fight because you're bugging. Yeah. And that's what it was.
So hold on. This is the time that I'm assuming that you started getting into comedy, right? Early on without even knowing.
So without even knowing. Basically, you know what I mean? I went from like fighting and then I was watching a lot of In Living Color. You know what I mean? So
throwback.
You know what I mean? Because I'm an 80s baby. So I started watching a lot of In Living Color. You know what I'm saying? So I would watch the Dirty Dozens and certain stuff and watch how they was doing stuff. So instead of fighting, because I would get in trouble in school, like I was bad.
And then you didn't want to get your ass whooped.
I used to get ass whoopings. Yeah. I used to get, I was so bad. So like I had to figure it out. Like I had to figure it out because I was fighting and clowning. Right, so, I had to pick a struggle. So I was like, I'm not going to be fighting. I'm going to be clowning. Like preschool, bro. The West End Community Center, they had the preschool. I got kicked out of there.
No, early on.
I got kicked out of preschool.
That's crazy,
Michael Jackson. I jumped on the desk, right? You know how they had the little desk?
You did a moonwalk?
Pulled my pants down.
No.
Did the moonwalk on the desk.
Yo.
Called my pops. I got a beating.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like, I was always in trouble in school. Providence school system's not good, so we moved to Cranston. When we moved to Cranston, that's when things got a little bit crazy for me because now I'm going from all black or whatever to now I'm like maybe 20.
You had a
kids.
culture shock for real.
Yeah, it was a big culture shock because now it's like I'm like 10 black kids. There's a couple Dominican kids. You know what I mean? So like it's like 20 of us. Bro, the first day, so we're in elementary school. We're at I'm trying to remember it's Gladstone, I believe. It's Gladstone. It's right up. It's on Cranston Street. It's up this hill.
Yeah.
It's right. So first day, it's like 94, 90, 93, 94.
Yeah.
First day, man. I had this white kid. He comes up to me. He's like, "Oh, yo, what's up, my nigga?" I punch him in his face.
Just for that.
Not knowing, I punched him in his face.
You didn't know he didn't mean it in a good way, not like in a racial way.
Yeah, in a good way, but I saw punch him in his face, me and him get into a fight, go to the principal. Principal's cool. He was like, "Hey, listen, you can't be fighting again." So I ended up talking to the kid or whatever. He was like, "Nah, you just look mad cool." And I was listening to the Snoop.
Like, don't call me like that. You didn't get the pass yet.
Yeah, he's like, "Yo, like, I was listening to the Snoop Dogg album and you know what I mean? Like,
well, this ain't Snoop.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, what's up with you? You know what I'm saying? So like, you know what I mean? So I had to kind of like really tone it down because now I was clowning even then, bro. When I was clowning, I got kicked out of Gladstone.
So being that you had like, you know, your trials and tribulations early on and stuff like that, when did you start writing like your own jokes and putting it all together that you say, you know what? I think I want to become a stand-up comedian. I want to do comedy overall.
So I'm going to be honest with you. I've been a class clown. So like I said, I got kicked out of elementary. I got kicked out of middle school. Yeah. Just always clowning. I always wanted to do comedy because I always grew up like I was watching Martin. I was watching Living Color, Jamie Foxx.
The Jamie Foxx show was
Jamie Foxx. Yeah. Like I was always
the Wayne show,
the Wayne Brothers show. You know what I'm saying? I was always watching them. So and I would watch Def Comedy Jam, and I was a constant fan of Comic View on BET.
Yeah, Comic View was
Comic View on BET. I watched that religiously.
Yeah,
and we'll get into it as we go further along. When I watched that religiously, like it came on every Friday, Saturday. They would play some of the reruns. I watched it all the time. So by the time I was in high school, I was always clowning. Yeah. So when I got to high school, I kind of cleaned it up. Yeah. But I was like, yo, I want to do this. I want to do this stand up. I was like, I was thinking about it. You know, it was always in my mind because I was always clowning. And then I was like, but what ended up happening is life hit me. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because you know what I mean?
Ups and downs.
Life hit me. So like I wanted to do it probably when I was probably like 18 or 19, but you know what I mean? I'm doing a ladies man thing. You know what I mean? Like I'm clowning.
Fucking around
or whatever. And then boom.
Smoking weed.
Yup, smoking weed. Drinking. Yo, I was drinking young.
The comedy book was
I was done with that shit. So by the time, you know what I mean? By the time I was like 18 or 19, I had a little girlfriend, and then by 19 going into 20, I had my son. My son.
Yeah, early on.
Yeah, I had a son. I was 19. The next month I turned 20. So I had my son, my first son, Jalen Anthony.
Shout outs to him. So,
you know what I mean? I had him, biracial relationship. That was crazy.
Your family, how did your family react to that?
So,
cause not for nothing, you know, I'm Puerto Rican, but I see it, bro, cause I'm from New York originally. And I remember I dated this Jamaican girl. And the first thing her father said when I came to the door, who the bumper cloud white boy?
What is bumper cloud?
I was like, yo, I'm not white.
What you gonna do with him? What you do? Yeah. You want to smash with him?
He wasn't having it, bro. So how did like the families react to all this? Well, I gotta hear this.
So she was Italian.
Okay.
And
even worse.
Yeah, so she was Italian. Mind you, right? I was always, listen, don't Dr. Umami. Just hear me out first. Before you Dr. Umami, hear me out real quick. So, you know what I mean? In high school, I was, my first girlfriend, I picked her because she was chocolate. You know what I mean? Yeah. I always loved the black queens. And if you was any type of diverse, I mess with you more. But black women could get on your fucking nerves sometimes. I'm sorry, queens. I love y'all.
You needed a change.
But sometimes y'all motherfuckers get on motherfuckers' nerves. Yeah. So I was like, you know what? I'm sick of this shit. I'm going to change the flavor. Yeah. And I changed the flavor. And boy, I should have never changed that flavor. I should have stayed where the fuck I was at. Yeah. You know what I mean? But don't get me wrong. I got a blessed son out of the deal. Yeah. So I was like, all right, cool. So I became a father. You know what I mean? And I was in college. I had to quit doing that. Picked up 2 jobs. I was in CCRI. Yeah. Picked up 2 jobs, and I did the father thing. So when I was doing the father thing, I took my relationship seriously because even though I was young, you know what I mean? I was like, you know what? I'm a new father now. I got to do what I got to do. And I'm taking my shit serious. Mm-hmm. His mother's not.
Oh.
You know what I mean? Not to be throwing, but she was dipping and diving.
So she was just chilling and you were
Yeah,
doing all
and the funny part is it was the first time I was like, you know what? I'm going to be serious because before her, I was playing. I was a player.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I was
see
like,
how karma gets you sometimes?
but you live by the sword, you die by the sword.
Right.
So I got my karma. Yeah, I got my karma and I was like, all right, bet, whatever. So me and her, we broke up, moved on or whatever. And when you break up, like you rebuild. As a man, I had to rebuild. So comedy, I was still watching comedy and certain comedy specials. I was still like motivated, but I was like, you know what I mean? I got to rebuild myself and do certain stuff or whatever. And then, some time went by. I got another girlfriend and then me and her broke up. And then boom, I kicked it with a childhood friend of mine. Yep. That me and her been kicking it for a little bit. And then boom, child number 2 comes.
Right. But does she spark now this comedy?
So no, this is, you know what I mean.
So you literally like Bill Bellamy out here.
Right. So I'm building up. You know what I mean. Like my life is crazy. Then I have another kid. Yeah. So you know what I mean. By the time I had my other kid, me and her broke up. You know what I mean. I was like, all right, you know what? I'm gonna start focusing on me, and that's when I started focusing on me. So right around like 28. So right around 2000, 28? I was 10 years because I wanted to do it at 18, but 10 years had passed. So I'm like, you know what? I'm 28. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and do this.
Wow.
You know what I mean? I was like, yo, I'm gonna go ahead and do this. You know what I mean? It is what it is. Boom, boom, done. Hold on. I was 28. I was like, hold on. What year did I start? Yeah, I'm 13 years in. So I was 28 going on 29, somewhere around there. I know it's 2000. I was 28 and I just turned 20. I made the decision at 28 and I decided to do it at 29. It was 2012. 2012. Okay. 2012. So
damn, that's crazy.
So I decided I was like, you know what? That's it. I'm not messing. This pussy is fucking up my life.
Yeah. That's I
pussy is fucking up my life. I was like, I love it. I love it so, but I was like, it's fucking up my life. So I was like, let me do something. You know what I mean? I'm gonna do what I got to do.
Let me focus.
I'm gonna focus in. So this is what I decided to do. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna do what I got to do. Whatever. Smartphones wasn't in like that, but I was like, I bet. So I go on Google. And I'm looking up some spots or whatever. And then I had remembered that I had bumped into somebody who actually worked at the Comedy Connection.
Oh,
her name is Amanda. Shout out to Amanda.
Shout outs to Amanda.
Yeah, shout out to Amanda. She actually sent me the text when I won the award. She sent me the text of when I started because I had texted her and I was like, hey, yo, I know you work at the, is there any way you can plug me into somebody so I could do this? And she was like, I bet I got you. She sent me a number and his name was John Parada.
Shout outs to John Parada.
John Parada. So now John Parada is like the Don Rickles of Rhode Island. He's been doing comedy for a minute. Yeah. He's been doing comedy with Bill. He done comedy with Bill Burr. He's been doing comedy since the late 80s. He did with comedy with Bill Burr, certain stuff. So I hit him up and I'm like, yo, he's Italian. Like, you know what I mean? So as soon as I called him up, because so I call up the number and I'm like, hey, I'm interested in doing comedy, whatever. I heard you've got like, a situation or whatever. And he's like, oh, all right, brother. You got that look Italian. He sounds like he's from Federal Hill. He's like, hey, what's going on, brother? Yeah, no problem, man. I'll put you on. I got you. I can picture him like eating some spaghetti while he was.
No worries. You come to the back of the office. I take care of you.
I got you, brother. No problem. So I'm like, all right, cool. So he booked me and he booked me for April 22nd.
At the Comedy Connection?
At the Comedy Connection.
Hey, your first show was at the Comedy Connection?
But let me explain it though. So it was a bringer show. A bringer show is like, you know what I mean? You bring a certain amount of people, you get paid, say if the tickets are $10, you get $5 each, you got to bring a certain amount of people.
Right.
So I had hit him up in February. So I had about a month and a little bit to practice.
To promote and everything.
So promote it or whatever. So I never touched the stage before. I'd never written a joke before. I never did none of that. I never did nothing. Like, so here's what I did. My favorite, I sat there because my mind always thinks ahead of stuff. So I said, who's my favorite comedian?
I was going to ask you, who are some of your influences?
All right, so my favorite comedian of all time is Richard Pryor.
Richard Pryor.
Richard Pryor. So this is what I did. I'll give you my top 5 after. So this is what I did. I grabbed Richard Pryor's DVD because we was DVDing it back in the day.
Hell yeah.
DVD,
I still got my DVDs.
Yep, DVD. It's 1977 show. He's in a silk shirt.
This is the Sunset Boulevard?
Nah, before that one. He's with Patti LaBelle.
Yeah.
So he's in a, silk shirt or whatever. So, and I literally I bought the DVD and I watched it every single night, over and over and over and over and
for almost
over.
2 months, more or less.
For almost 2 months, every single day. And I wasn't biting his jokes or nothing. I was, because I'm a visual learner, even though I got big ass eyes. Don't do that. With the camera. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. I'm a visual.
I'm sure you do.
You know what I mean? See what I mean? You're not gonna talk to me like that with a Fat Joe chin strap. You're not gonna talk to me like that. Not with a Fat Joe chin strap.
I was trying to bait you to start cracking.
You're not gonna talk to me with a Fat Joe chin strap. You're not doing that. So you say from New York, but niggas look like Fat Joe's brother. Anyway, Jmack, no, motherfucker, that's Fat Joe's brother. Anyway.
You never want to crack on comedians. This is what you learn.
So, you know what I mean? So I watched that. I watched Richard Pryor every single day.
Yeah.
And I'm watching his mannerism, his transition, how he produced everything, how he came up with his jokes and certain stuff. So I'm studying him and I'm like, it's just building.
Basically, it's giving you like a blueprint too.
Yo, it's giving me a blueprint because I'm like, if I'm gonna do this, I want to watch the person that, so I'm watching how he transitions, how he moves on the stage, how he carries the mic, how he goes into different jokes, how he story tells. And like I had a chick I was with, she used to be like, yo, again? And I'm like, bitch, go cook something or do something. This is serious. Go move around.
This is my life.
You know what I mean? So I'm like, all right, best. So you know what I mean? So I kind of, how I do my jokes is I kind of like Jay-Z Biggie Smalls. So yeah, so what I'll do is I'll take a topic. It's weird, like, if you in my personal space, like, you know what I mean? My kids see this sometimes, or my girl will see this. I'll be at the crib and I'll be walking back and forth sometimes and I'll be like, and I'll be talking to myself and then I'll take my phone and kind of like bullet what the joke was and then move on. So there'll be a moment in time where like the other day I was in the shower and my girl comes in the shower. She was like, she comes in the bathroom and she's like, who are you talking to? And I'm like, I'm putting this joke together. She's like, oh, my bad. I thought you was talking to me. Yeah. And because I was putting a joke together, whatever. So, but anyway, so I put my couple of jokes together and he told me I had 5 minutes. And the funny thing is, you think 5 minutes is like nothing.
It goes slow, right? When
you get on that stage, it's a whole nother thing.
Facts, bro.
So I was like, all right, cool. So now the date comes. I'm hitting up everybody, you know what I mean? I think I had like, I don't know, 50, 60 people come.
So wait, hold on. Your first time ever doing
my first time coming.
5 minutes only.
5 minutes only.
But it felt like an eternity.
Yeah,
probably,
they do like 5 to 7.
Yeah,
so he's like, you got 5 to 7. So when I hit up everybody, I hit up my baby mama's family, like all my friends.
I need you all to come, please.
Because I worked at Stanley Steamer. I hit up all my Stanley Steamer friends. And the funny part is they all came out.
Yeah.
Everybody came out. So I was excited.
They were showing
Yo,
love.
And plus I was getting, each person that came, I was getting a little something behind it. So I was souped. I was like, all right, cool. Yeah. So not only did I do that, so whatever. So I go up on that stage, man, and I knew it. When I mean I knew it, as soon as I grabbed the mic, I started telling my jokes. People started laughing and boom, boom. I wasn't nervous. I just was flowing. I was like,
so you didn't bomb at all? You didn't bomb at all?
We'll talk about that.
I gotta ask.
But my first time on stage, I went up there, boom, boom, boom. I killed it. And when I killed it, I knew it. People was like, yo, Anthony, I didn't know you was that funny. Like I talked about, because I lived at, I had my little bachelor pad. So I had a joke about toilet paper. I had a joke about, because I'm cultured. So I had a joke with the African voice. I had a joke about a few different things, but being on that stage, like 5 minutes, it go in the beginning. Now for me, 5 minutes is too fast. But I was like, yo, when is he gonna like me? Because I started getting towards the end of my jokes. I'm like, I'm gonna have to improvise this shit. I could have did it, but I was like, all right, cool, whatever. So then I got off that stage and that was it.
Was that, this is crazy that you just got
that. Was it.
Was that the moment you realized that, you know what, I really want to do this for the rest of my life? This is something that I could continue to do.
It was that. As soon as I went home, I jumped in my car. And I love being in my car. That's like, I don't have to be driving, so I'll just sit in my car. And
you be in your zone?
So I sat in my car and I was like, yep, all right.
So you said that you're cultured and stuff like that. So you had a lot of different things that you put in that 5 minutes, right?
Yeah.
How did you develop over time though? Like what style of comedy that you wanted to go with after that show is what I want to get to.
That was crazy. So it took me a while to figure out how I wanted to be. So now I'll get into my top 5. So what I did was I was like, who do I like and how can I, you know what I mean? Because what are the people that I grew up, watching? So in this order, Richard Pryor, Martin Lawrence, Eddie Murphy.
What about Chris Rock?
Hold on, Eddie Murphy. So that's my top 3. So number 4.
Eddie Murphy's
number
Even
4
he
is
got a lot of stand-ups though. I don't know why.
yeah.
He didn't need any more, but he got like one of the best stand-ups ever.
That's why he's number 3.
Yeah.
And then number 4 is Dave Chappelle.
Dave Chappelle's another.
And
goat.
number 5 is George Carlin.
Oh, George Carlin.
So those are my I started watching all those now because now I already got the bug. So now I start watching Martin, and then, I've already seen these, but I'm watching them different. I'm watching them to study, to break it down, and I was just like, I got a loud voice.
Yeah.
I got a loud voice. I like to talk about, so I like to do racist humor. I like to do edgy stuff. I like to be moving around. I'm very loud or whatever. So I was like, you know what? I don't have a problem with voice projection.
Right.
I was like, I do like touching edgy stuff. I do like doing certain stuff. So then I was like, you know what? I'm just going to have this style. So my style is energy.
Yeah.
I bring energy.
Yeah.
I bring energy. I can roast the crowd a little bit. I do a lot of that. I do roasting the crowd.
Do you go back and forth with the
I can do.
crowd?
I mean, so I like to give, I call it a buffet. I like to give a buffet.
A little bit of everything.
So I can roast the crowd a little bit. I actually like to tell jokes because even though you can, you know what I mean? Some comedians will, they'll get on the mic and, they're just doing a whole bunch of crowd work. And that's cool if that's what you like or whatever.
Ari Spears does a lot of that.
You know what I mean? But here's the thing. I always said, if you give them a little bit of everything, you please the whole audience. Because if you're doing too much crowd work, then some people be like, you know what I mean? Like, it gets kind of like, whatever. But if you give them a buffet, so you do some crowd work, you do some actual jokes, you do some current event things.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you mix it up and you kind of put your set around that. I feel like it's a nice balance. So now people be like, yo, he was clowning us and then he talked about a current event and then he threw up some jokes or whatever, and you give him that balance, and now people start to mess with you because they're like, he don't just do crowd work. Oh, he don't just tell just jokes or storyteller. He's kind of a little bit of everything.
Right.
So I try to give him a little bit of everything with energy. So,
do you test like your jokes out like before you hit the stage? Like, do you give it like a trial run on people that you know and stuff like that? Or you just go on the stage, you're that confident that you're like, I'm just gonna do it on stage.
So now that I've been doing this for 13 years,
yeah, you seasoned now.
When I first started, I would kind of like try to test run it. I would do open mics and stuff. And then I realized like I will do an open mic here and there, but open mic is not for me.
Okay, got
Only reason being is because like I'm an energy person. And anytime you do a lot of open mics, there's just a lot of other comedians there. They just want to hear themselves. So I call it, remember P90X?
Yeah.
I was like, because going to the open mics is like going to the gym.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm a P90X at the crib.
Yeah.
Because I'll know what hits or whatever. So when I end up started doing this, because, as time goes on, you start getting booked for certain stuff. So in the beginning, I would get booked like 5 to 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And then I started doing longer sets and featuring and other stuff.
What's the longest set you ever did? Have you reached an hour yet?
Yeah, I've done an hour. The longest I've done on stage was an hour and 20 minutes.
Wow, that's
an
a whole
hour and
special
20
right
minutes.
there.
An hour, 20 minutes. And here's the thing. It was crazy because like, that was all I had.
Where was it at?
It was this redneck place.
No
it was
fucking way.
It was this redneck place in Massachusetts.
Yeah.
So like they booked me, and they booked me for a pig roast. Yeah. It was weird because like
you're like, what am I doing here?
Yo, what am I doing here?
Right?
But they would pay me or whatever. Yeah. So I did like an hour and 20 minutes, and like went well. Well, it did. Because I kind of knew the people, whatever. So I did all the jokes that I had. Yeah. And I did like a good maybe like half an hour, not like but half an hour of crowd work.
Oh, okay. So
I did a half an hour of crowd work, and I had about 45 to 50 minutes of jokes. But when I mean I emptied the clip, like after I got done with that show, I said I need more. Yeah. I need more. So I'm comfortable with doing like I like to headline, I like to host, I like to feature. My favorite position is featuring. But I like the headline. I can do it all. Don't matter. But
do you ever get nervous? Being that you're 13 years in, do you ever get nervous nowadays?
I never get nervous. Only thing that for me, I like to I have ritual that I do. Yeah. So like me, everybody knows me. Like if you've been doing comedy, because a lot of comedians know me. I put my headphones in. I'll listen to one song on repeat.
Rick Ross?
Nah, Future.
Oh, Future. Which song? If you don't
March Madness.
Oh, that's fire.
I listen to March Madness or what's the other one? something. Oh man, I gotta look into my
No
phone.
Biggie jokes?
Nah,
No Biggie tracks that you listen to?
Nah, I fuck with. I'm a Tupac fan, so.
Okay.
I mean, you know what I mean.
Me Against the World?
Nah, not when I do comedy.
Yeah.
Not when I do comedy.
You gonna be mad.
Not when I do comedy. Like, nah. So I'll put the Future in. I put that in. There's a few other songs, but that's always my go-to.
Yeah.
If I feel like I'm like, all right, I need to do well.
Yeah.
Or like, because sometimes like certain shows you'll book with certain people and you're like, yo, who's this? All right, you know what? I got to kill them.
Yeah.
It's friendly. We cool. But I got to get you. You know what I mean? Like, I got to get you because you on the show. Then there's sometimes when I'm like, all right, I'm the person that, all right, so, you know what I mean? It all depends on the position.
You pick and choose more or less,
Yeah,
right?
you kind of like got to pick and choose where it's going or whatever. So with me, I'm like, all right, cool. So if there's nobody that's like, so we do this as comedians, we'd be like, there ain't nobody that really challenged me, but the show's gonna go. So and I'm closing out. I can put another song on, but when I put that Future on, I'm in battle mode. On. When I put that Future on, I'm in battle mode. So I feel like whoever's on the show, there's a lot of nice people. I gotta cut my part of the pie out. I gotta get mine. Yeah, exactly. I don't care who's on the show. I'm gonna get mine, and that's how I do it. So I'm like, all right, cool.
Now, how do you balance like comedy with your personal life and mental health? I gotta ask these things.
Yeah. So, well, my personal life, man, like I said, so I've been through freaking a lot. Yeah. So like my first year in comedy, my pops died.
Oh shit.
My pops died, and my pops was my everything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I took care of him and certain stuff. So my very first show that I did.
My condolences, by the way.
Yeah, this was a while ago.
I know it was a while, but
you know
that's tough.
So it was tough.
Losing a parent.
Yeah, I was 30. You know what I mean? I was, 29, 30. So he passed away. He was my influence and whatever. So it was crazy because, I always think of three. So when I was about to do comedy, I asked my pops. He was like, boy, you always been funny. My pops was a funny dude. Yeah. He used to wear glasses and he put his glasses up and he used to talk crazy. He'd be like, nigga, you always been funny. Go ahead and do that shit. And he's sick now. So I asked this girl that I was kicking it with, and I work at the Rhode Island. I'm not gonna say it.
Yeah.
I work at a place.
You got a job.
Yeah. I don't want y'all niggas to know where I work. But anyway, so I got a job where I deal with, I deal with older people, taking care of them or whatever. And this dude, he had dementia, and I always, take care of him out of nowhere. Because with dementia, he snapped out of it. He was like, because we were just talking about life, and he was like, if you want to do something in life, you should just do it. Because
that was like a sign for you, right?
Yo, for real. And I'm looking at him because he got dementia, and I'm like, bro, eat this pudding.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like,
where's this talk coming from?
Where's this coming from? Yeah. So, and he was like, if you want to do anything in life, you should do it. It's like, there was this girl I wanted to be with, and I didn't do it, and I got married, and I regretted it, and man, you should do that. And then he went back into dementia mode, and he was just like, eating, because he would do that. And I sat there, and I was like, so when that happened, you know what I mean? Like, I was like, yo, I got to do this, whatever. So I decided to do all that, whatever. My pops died my first year in comedy. That shit hurt. When I mean that shit hurt, like I wanted to quit. I actually stopped doing it for about a couple months.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then, you know what I mean? I had one of my friends, she was like, hey, yo, get your ass back into the game. So I'm glad that happened because I had to reset. So I reset or whatever. So I'll be honest with you, with my mental health, comedy has always been where I get my therapy. Where if something's going wrong, you know what I mean? Like there's been times when I've been real down and out and I'm busy. So I'm doing shows or whatever. And I'm like, I'm going to make this set be for if somebody passed away, or if I'm dealing with something or whatever. I'm like, comedy's my therapy. So I'll go on stage. Like there was one time, man, when I was battling demons, dog. I was battling demons because being a player, y'all are out there, you live by the sword, you die by the sword. So I was out here messing with multiple women and doing all this crazy shit. And I had just demons, man. And there was this one day I did this comedy show. And when I did a comedy show and I made everybody laugh. And at the end of the show, I was like, mental health is crazy. I was telling people, I'm dealing with something. Like, I'm dealing with something, and to make y'all laugh, help me. I'm crying. Tears is coming down my face because because they don't even know I'm struggling to make them laugh. I was able to do it, but I know like after I get done, I still got to deal with the demon. But for that moment in time, I was vulnerable, so I let them know because in comedy, here's the thing. You don't know, and this has happened to me plenty of times where like people have come up to me and they're like, yo, you don't know, like my pops died, or my aunt going through something, or somebody had cancer, or somebody whatever. And for the moment, you made me forget.
Yeah.
And you helped me.
Yeah.
So I remembered all of it, because I've done it. When I mean I've done a bunch of fucking shows, I've done a bunch of fucking shows. So I remember, seeing all these people come up to me and whatever. So when it was my turn to be on that, I was like, you know what, Anthony? Even though you're going through something, you got to make them laugh.
Yeah, you got to leave that at the door. Like
they got to leave it at the man. When I mean I left it at the door, bro, I showed up to the show drunk. Man. When I mean I was going through it, dog, like, because I'll just throw this quick. I had multiple women. My main chick, she was down with me. And my main chick was everything.
She got tired
because I had two main chicks, and both of them was kind of getting. And I was fucked up because I knew I was living wrong.
Yeah,
I wasn't doing what I was supposed. I'm fucking in the car drunk. I'm crying. I got Carl Thomas playing this shit because now I got to call up these other bitches because I don't want to fuck with these. I was like, I wish I never met. You know what I mean? I'm going through the shit. So I put my bottle down. I'm fucking lit. I'm like, I get paid good for this show, so I gotta do it.
Yeah.
I'm like, shit, I go up on there, but I'm back on that bottle when I get back out. Yeah. And I was like, yo, like, you know what I mean? So, and after that moment, I was like, Anthony, never again. Like, I fixed my life up.
So you changed it around.
Oh, yeah, I changed it up. When I mean I changed it up, and it was beautiful. The change up was beautiful.
So now, like, what shows do you got coming up right now? Like at the moment?
So currently I'm actually on tour. I'm on tour.
At the moment?
Yeah. Okay. So I'm on tour. I got my I Love Kachupa.
Like it.
I mean, shoot.
You got merch out right now?
I do got merch. Where
can they purchase the merch?
Shit, you gotta hit me up. You gotta hit me up on my Instagram. I'll deliver it to you, or you can come to one of my shows. I'm working on that.
I definitely need one of those, bro.
I'm working on that. I'm working on that.
Episode.
I got you. So I'm currently on tour right now with so I got a few different things that I do. So I'm currently on tour with my I Love Kachupa crew. I love my I Love Kachupa crew. It's a bunch of us that are Cape Verdean of Cape Verdean descent or some type of, you know what I mean? So it's me, my homegirl Nani.
Shout out to my Cape Verdean.
Yeah, so it's me, my homegirl Nani Styles, my homeboy Danny V, and my girl Jessica. And they go hard in the paint on the content. You can check. They do a lot of Cape Verdean content and certain stuff like that. So, I
seen y'all had some videos in the crib and stuff like that.
Yeah. So we've done a few videos, whatever. I used to do a lot of videos, and then I kind of fell out of it. The pandemic and certain stuff, whatever. So this is my second time. The I Love Kachupa is my show, but they're my crew.
Yeah.
So it's their show too. You know what I mean? So the first round of I Love Kachupa comedy show, we hit 4 cities. And even though it's local, it's still my tour. I created it. It's a tour, whatever. So I created the I Love Kachupa. And the reason why I created the I Love Kachupa was because, you know what I mean, me being of Cape Verdean descent, and I was like, I was looking at because I be paying attention to everything. And I seen Dominicans versus Puerto Ricans comedy show.
Oh yeah, they be having stuff.
You know what I mean?
That.
And certain stuff like that. And I was like, you know what? Fuck that. I can do. I was like, I'm not saying fuck them. I was like, fuck that. I can do something for my shit, for us.
Yeah.
So, the shit was hard though. Shit was hard in the beginning. Yeah. So I came up with the I Love Kachupa, and the first we did Pawtucket, East Providence, New Bedford, and New Haven.
Nice.
And
so you went all the way to Connecticut with it.
Yeah, we went all the way to Connecticut with it. And we was going to do some more stuff, whatever, but it was really difficult because it was my first time putting a tour together and dealing with certain stuff. So like everybody knows, it's your first time doing something. There's a lot of kinks and certain stuff that you got to iron out. You got to figure it out. So there was a lot of things that happened behind the scenes, and a few comedians dropped out. They didn't want to do the shit no more, and a lot of bullshit.
But you made it work overall.
Well, here's the thing. So what ended up happening was a few comedians dropped out, and that's when I met my homegirl, Jessica. When I met Jessica, I was like, yes, finally. Because I've seen her in some videos, and me and her was like, we ended up doing a short film together. In New York, we did a short film together in Yonkers, New York. Yeah. And you know what I mean? So me and her, we talked or whatever. She's doing a lot of content. She started doing, she travels all around the world or whatever. So I was like, yo, let's do this or whatever. So I put her on the first tour. She did 2 shows. Yep. And then I was like, in my mind, I'm like, I got to find some other comedians. Because here's the thing. When you're on tour, you got to have a group that mesh together and y'all vibe together, whatever. So this time, we did the second time around. I met Danny and I met Nani. And I was like, yeah. When I mean, we like everybody gels together and we perfect. Like, I love how we all do what we got to do and boom, boom, boom. And this tour has been amazing. So right now. So we're on our 4th city right now.
Where you going next?
We are doing Brockton. We're doing Brockton. We're doing Brockton. So even though it's a local tour, fuck y'all niggas. It's still my tour.
Yeah, I like it though. You working.
Yeah, so we started off in New Bedford. Then we went to East Providence. Then we did Norwich, Connecticut.
Right.
So, you know what I mean? We did Norwich, Connecticut. Now we're doing Brockton. So it's the summertime. It's going to look, comedy is a winter sport.
Right.
You know what I mean? I do get some shows in the summertime, but that's when I take my vacations in the summertime. Right. So I'm going to the Bahamas, then I'm going to Mexico. So I'm going to do a couple shows, whatever. Right. But then when we come back, I'm trying to get Waterbury, Connecticut for the I Love Kachupa. And I'm trying to do a show out on the Cape. Because I always say, I did 4 cities, I'm trying to do at least 6.
We're gonna put the fly in all the cities you're gonna go to. We're gonna put on the screen as we talk. We're gonna be wrapping it up shortly, but I want to ask you this: what advice would you give to somebody that is thinking about pursuing comedy, or stand-up comedy, or comedy overall, even acting? Like, what would be your advice to them, and they haven't took that step yet? What would be the advice you give to them?
If you want to do comedy, I'm gonna tell you right now, you're gonna have a lot of days where, you know what I mean, in the beginning, you're not gonna get paid. Yeah. You're not going to get paid like that. You know what I mean? So you got to do it because you love it. So my whole thing is do it because you love it. Don't quit. Focus in. You're going to have some bad days. We're going to have some certain stuff or whatever. Even the best of us, even me, I've only bombed maybe once or twice in my career. Yeah. Here's the thing. The word bomb, I hate that word because some people don't know the context of it. Yeah. But I've had some bad shows, some good shows. I've worked with some great people. When I mean I work with some legends, you know what I mean? Like I was able to do a lot of certain stuff. So, but I always tell people, man, follow your dream. You're going to get there, but it's going to take some time. So like for me, a perfect example, I linked up with my man, Jonathan Gates in Boston. And remember I was telling you how I would watch Comic View and I literally got to perform with people that were from Comic View. Like Chris Thomas, the mayor of Chris Thomas. I performed. I'm so bad with names. He was on BET too. He was on. I hate to say this, but he was on Diddy's Bad Boys of Comedy show. No Diddy. Matter of fact, we just did a show with him. When he did, I just did a show with him in Boston. No Diddy. I just did a show with him in Boston. I got to work with Michael Blackson last year.
Michael Blackson's
Michael Blackson. Last year, because I got my comedy legends and I got people that I appreciate now. Yeah. So last year, the dopest for me was I was able to host for Ryan Davis.
Oh,
got to host a weekend for Ryan Davis, and then I got to meet this Italian comedian. He's funny, Anthony Rodea.
Isn't that the guy on Netflix that he be having a Netflix special?
Who?
Anthony Rodea.
He's trying to get a Netflix. Yeah. Put it this way, his people, man. So I'm hosting for him, whatever, and he was like, normally we don't have a host or whatever, but you were so funny. We're gonna keep you for the weekend. So I was souped about that. I got to do the whole weekend. But his fans came out so much they had to open up he did Friday, Saturday, and back-to-back shows, and then they had to open up. He had a Sunday show. They had to open up another show because people were selling out. Like his shit was selling out. So, but here's the thing: it took me a minute to get there. Yeah. So I tell people, 13 years. It took me. Well, I'll be honest with you. I was blessed early. Yeah. So, but I'm still working on it. But you know what I mean? Like I got the opportunity to work with a lot of different people. I've performed all over New England and parts of New York. Yeah. I've touched a lot of, stages. I've been to casinos. I've been, I've been to Mohegan Sun, Foxwoods, even Twin Rivers. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of different comedy clubs. I've been to, all around, and I've done a lot of shows. I've done shows in front of thousands of people, and I've done shows in front of like 4 or 5. You know what I mean?
They always have the same energy as the overall thing, right?
I'll be if you do a show in front of 4 or 5 people, or it's easy to make 1,000 people laugh. It's easy to make 100 people laugh. 4 people?
Kind of tough.
Tough. Boy, they be looking at you. But here's the thing. Those be the best shows. I'll be honest with you. Those, when you get 4 or whatever, those are the best shows. Word. Those be the best shows.
Now, I know we spoke about a lot of things today, man. What's next for Mr.Kuze? Anything else that you want to promote that we might have missed or we might have not covered?
All right, so I'm all about brands and certain stuff. So I've done a few brands. So I got the I Love Kachupa. We already talked about that. Yeah. Another show that I did that I'm going to bring back. So be on the lookout for that. This is a show that I produced that I'm actually not even in.
Oh shit!
It's a show that I produced that it's not even in. It's called this is for the ladies, but it's Black Girl Magic.
Black Girl Magic.
So what I do is all black females. well, if you're any of, Afro Latino, you know what I mean? I got to put all that in, 'cause, you know what I mean? So what I do is I create like an all female lineup and all, of Afro, Latino, Black, all Haitian, whatever. You got to be some type of Black. Right, you know what I mean? But I set that up because I knew that there wasn't a lane for that.
Right.
So we did during after the pandemic, we did about 5 shows. All of them hit. Yeah. All of them, you know what I mean? All of them did good. And I produced it myself. You know what I mean? So getting a small little venue and my girl was cooking the food and booking the comedians and all that other stuff. It was a dope experience. Right. But it made me realize that there's not a lot of Black women or women of ethnicity, whatever you want to use, to have a space in comedy. Right. So when I was able to do that, I was a blessing, because sometimes when you have something, when you have a gift, it's not just your gift.
Yeah.
And you can't just be selfish. A lot of people get a gift and they get selfish. Nah, God didn't design you like that. The universe didn't design you like that. Whatever you believe in, they didn't design you like that. So I have this gift, and if I'm able to create opportunities, I should be able to sit back, and that's what I did. So 5 shows, I was able to sit back. Shout out to my girl, Duchess SS. Duchess SS, she was my host. I had so many Black female comedians come out. Shout out to my girl, Misconduct, Sexy Joker from out in Connecticut. I had, I had every Black female that I could get from, didn't matter what level you was on, I put you on the show. So, you know what I mean? My homegirl, Miss Laddie, she Afro-Latina, you know what I'm saying? So, I'm going to be bringing that back soon. So I got that going. I also do a spot at D Spot. Okay. You know what I mean? So I do it. Here's the thing. Like I said, my gifts are not just for me. They're for everybody. Right. So I do a spot at D Spot. I do a comedy show once a month at D Spot. I'm bringing that back as well. Nice. I've been doing that. We already did a year of that. The reason why I do that, because I feel like laughs belong in our community. Right. You know what I mean? So just because, you know what I mean, you want to see whatever, but people want to laugh. So I bring, I got a nice little show. It's a nice little spot, and it helps Black owned businesses because, absolutely. You know what I mean? So boom, I got that coming up, and shoot, I got a lot of stuff coming up. There's some stuff I can't really say because, you know what I mean? It's still in the works, whatever. Exclusive? So no, I got the I Love Kachupa Black Girl Magic's coming back soon. D Spot is the comedy takeover. Right. And I'm going to be doing some more stuff. Another thing too is, because you know what I mean? Like I said, I'm all about community. Some people, they do the talking. Me, I actually do the walking.
The walk.
Yeah, like my man said earlier, I got receipts.
You got the receipts.
I got receipts. You know what I mean? I got receipts to show that I'm in the community. Right. So I'm trying to, for September, I'm going to try to work a show where I'm trying to put it together. Right. I'm thinking of maybe putting a show together to help the little duns, the little youth, you know what I mean? So I'm thinking about doing something like that. But everybody who knows me knows that every week you're going to see a flyer from me because I'm doing so much. So
you're busy.
I'm busy. I'm booked. I stay booked. That's what I love about this shit.
Where can people reach out to you on social media?
On social media, you can catch me at Mr.Kuze. That's Kuze on Instagram, Facebook. Matter of fact, you can hit me up in the inbox. TikTok, same thing, Mr.Kuze. Okay. You know what I'm saying? So just check me out on, you know what I mean? Hit me up. You know what I mean? Here's the thing. You can hit me up for advice. You can hit me up to book a show. You can hit me up if you want me on the show. You can hit me up, whatever.
You're open to it.
I get you. You know what I mean? If you about to do something stupid, hit me up. Yo, should I do this? No.
Can we agree that all the experiences that you went through got you to where you are today?
If it wasn't for all the shit that I've been through, I would have never made it here, man. I'll be honest with you, man. Like, if it was my life, like I look back and I'm like, I had to go through that. I had to go through every bad situation because now all I do now is I be clowning. I write jokes. I be clowning because all the bad stuff happened to me early in life. Right. So now I live out my dream. I tell people I can leave this earth now and I'll be okay because I've worked with people that I, thought I never got a chance to work with, and I do my dream. You know what I'm saying? Like, I literally do my dream. I won that award. Right. You know what I mean? When I won that award, I didn't even think I was going to win that shit. Yeah, no, I didn't think I was going to win that shit because I'm always grinding. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, yo, there was a lot of people that was funny on there. But the most comment that I got was people kept saying, yo, Anthony, you deserve that. You deserve.
I was going to say that.
They kept saying I deserve that. And the reason why they said that is because they got to see me from, you know what I mean? Like, I have videos that went viral. Rhode Island niggas be like part 1 and part 2. Part 2 got kind of banned a little bit and it still made numbers.
Right.
And they seen me. I was in some of my first shows I did on Broad Street at the Elks.
That's crazy.
You know what I mean? So
Humble beginnings.
Yo, so you know, when people see me, they're like, yo, I be working. Here's the thing. Some people just talk.
Yeah.
And do you.
You walk the walk and you got receipts.
Here's the thing. I walk the walk and I tell receipts. So I'm like, yo, I tell people, if you really gonna do something, just keep walking and keep doing what you're gonna do. If you're gonna get there, it's gonna take some time. Cause listen, I still got some more to go. I'm only 13 years, so I'm a teenager in this comedy shit.
Facts. Any last words or special shout outs before we sign off?
Damn, that time went by quick. Last shout out, man. Listen, we was talking about mental health, man. If you got a great woman and she holds you down, you know what I mean? Like, for real talk. So shout out to my girl Dina. My girl Dina holds me down. When I mean she holds me down, yo, she holds me down, man. She helps me out with a lot of this stuff. When I mean she helps me out, like, for every king that you see, there's a queen that's making sure stuff gets done. It's just like a chessboard. Right. You know what I mean? Yeah, the king's shining, but the queen's doing a lot of stuff. So she helps me with a lot of stuff. Shout out to my kids, man. Shout out to, you know what I mean? Shout out to everybody that's doing this. Shout out to my Cape Verdean crew. You know I love y'all. You know what I mean? Shout out to the Cape Verdean crew, the I Love Kachupa crew. Man, shout out to everybody that's doing this. Shout out to Rhode Island. Word. Everybody knows in comedy, I'm going to put Rhode Island on my back, and I'm always going to represent. So shout out to Rhode Island. Shout out to you, man, because you don't get your flowers. Some people be like, oh, shout out to shout out to Jmack and that chin strap beard he got going on. That chin strap shit.
You're the first to ever crack on me on the show, which is dope. You're legendary right now.
Legendary. For real, you came over here with that chin. And he got his legs out.
You know what I mean? It's summertime, man. I got the hoochie daddies on today. It's summertime.
He said it's summer, but them motherfucking legs is hairy, dog. I thought you had. I thought you had
a polar bear.
I thought he had pants on. I was like, God, shit. Fucking look like he's Armenian and Puerto Rican at the same time.
He's fucking hilarious, bro. Yeah, I appreciate you so much.
Appreciate you, man.
Truly an honor.
But hey, shout out to you for being able to do this, and yo, keep getting a lot of guests, and don't stop doing what you're doing. Because here's the thing, you need your flowers too. Yeah. You know what I mean, you hit me up, whatever, and I'm appreciative of that. But I'm appreciative of you being able to do this. Word. And people, when you come up here, give this man his flowers. I can't do it
alone though. Shout out to Conversation Studio. I know right now they're looking at the clock, so they're like, "Yo, Harry, wrap this shit up."
Oh, my bad. I'm long with it. We out.
We over the time limit, but yo, I truly appreciate everybody that's been on this journey with me. We just wrapped up episode 99 and 100 today. Stay tuned. We just hit a milestone, so you part of this, man.
That's what's up. Let's go.
Episode 99, Mr.Kuze, the Jmack Experience Podcast. We're signing out.
Peace.
Damn. Thanks for coming on the Jmack Experience Podcast. Yeah, be sure to come on for another episode every single week. Until next time, peace.
What's good, everybody? We've been having a crazy year. I want to shout out our newest sponsor, Spaced Out Snacks. Make sure you contact them for all your edible treats. And I also want to shout out Dead Time Clothing Brand for the official fit. If you want quality, make sure you hit them up to get fresh. You already know the Jmack Experience Podcast. We're signing out.